Well, what do you say we revisit SEC versus Ripple XRP? Is an end in sight? What's next in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit case that has been going on and on and on and on since 2020? Hard to believe. Later this year, this December will be 3 years that this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit has been ongoing. Now, of course, there have been some great things happen here in 2023 for crypto as a whole, because Ripple is not a security, right? When we look at it on the retail side. But now the big question is, what about the institutional side? We've got some time that's going to have to go on here between now and Q2 of 2024 is when the big trial will take place. But with all that being said, let's dive into some of the specifics. Let's talk about where we are right now, some of the things we're looking at, the price of XRP, and what they say about the end in sight or not. What do you guys think? As we go along, let me know what you guys' guesses are. What your guys' guesses are in terms of SEC versus Ripple. Is the end in sight? What do you guys think? Do you think there's a certain timetable for this, or do you think it's just going to play out sometime Q2, Q3 next year, maybe even Q4? What do you guys think? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say down below. Ripple has basically been the poster child for, the SEC in terms of what they want to do with securities and what they can do. But Ripple, I don't think the SEC understood just how much money Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse had. And they have fought the SEC tooth and nail and have spent well over $100 million. Last check, I heard over $150 million to fight the SEC. And the SEC's case against Ripple, of course, revolves around XRP, the digital asset. Is it a security? Should it be classified as such or not? According to the SEC, Ripple engaged in an illegal securities offering by selling XRP to investors without registering the tokens as securities. But the SEC's main contention is that Ripple and its officials engage in an ongoing and unregistered securities offering in which they raised approximately $1.3 billion in XRP sales. The SEC claims that Ripple's founders, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen, benefited directly from these sales. So Ripple, on the other hand, has vehemently denied these charges and have won in a couple court cases already. Ripple claims that XRP is a valid use case, such as facilitating cross-border transactions. Therefore, it should not be classified as a security under U.S. law. Ripple further disputes the SEC's claim that it had reasonable awareness that its conduct were in violation of securities laws. Remember, Ripple tried to do everything by the book. The SEC wouldn't listen, and now they're trying to throw the book at them, right? It's kind of bullshit. Ripple versus SEC. Here's the key points, okay, and what we can kind of forecast. Some very key points, so stay with me here. Judge denies SEC's appeal. This is Torres rejecting the SEC's appeal recently, upholding a July ruling that favored Ripple. This ruling stated that Ripple's XRP sales from a year ago did not constitute an offer of investment contracts. This just happened very recently. That was huge. Now, the trial date, here you go. With the appeal denied, the focus now shifts to the pivotal trial scheduled for April 23rd, 2024. The outcome of this trial holds immense importance, not just for Ripple, but for the broader cryptocurrency sector and future regulatory developments in the U.S. So we may not have a real regulation clarity type moment for the United States in crypto until this case is done. XRP's price surge. Following Ripple's recent victory, XRP's price rose to about 55 cents. This is the most recent pump. And the surge in value, especially compared to the earlier jump to 85 cents, was, much smaller. We could see the jump here this month up to 55 cents. A couple different times actually got up there in the last month's time frame. But not nearly the big victory that we saw take place back in July that saw Ripple's price, XRP's price, jump almost to $1. So what's up next? Well, the crypto world obviously waiting until April 24th. That's the big date, right? But the prevailing sentiment among experts and Twitter users alike is that the SEC is unlikely to wave the white flag. Many anticipate that the agency will pursue tactics to delay the case's conclusion, given its track record of determination in previous legal battles. As Ripple appears to gain momentum on the legal front, speculation is rife regarding the SEC's potential actions. Some experts believe that the SEC might consider dropping the case against Ripple. I don't see that. I think they're going to fight tooth and nail. And I still think at the end of the day, Ripple's going to win this case. I just think it's going to be not a paraded victory where, they'll find something at fault and give the SEC a little feather in their cap, but really Ripple will defeat them. That's kind of what I think. But some huge things have happened in recent months. Amended complaint. The SEC filed an amended complaint back in February 2021. Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson were identified as individual defendants in the action by the SEC. We had the fair notice defense. Ripple's legal team had stressed the crypto space's lack of regulatory certainty, basically saying, hey, what were we supposed to do when we don't know what the hell we can and cannot do anyway, right? The SEC versus Ripple lawsuit obviously has included discovery disagreements. Both parties have requested access to each other's records and information, resulting in legal battles. Further, Ripple's offensive strategy has been working. Ripple has not only relied on defense. The corporation has gone on the offense, submitting Freedom of Information Act requests to seek internal records and communications from the SEC. Ripple has investigated whether the SEC was clear about XRP's regulatory status. That came out in the Hinman emails. That was a huge win for XRP. So possible outcomes. What could happen here? What could actually happen here? Well, before the lawsuit gets to trial, the SEC versus Ripple may strike an agreement. I don't think that's going to happen. But it could, right? They are prevalent in legal procedures and may involve Ripple agreeing to pay fines or accept specific restrictions. I don't think that's going to happen. That's just my inclination. We'll see. If no settlement is achieved, the case will be tried. So we wait till April and we get a court decision. And this will have huge repercussions for digital assets across the board. I hope we get this and Ripple wins. And we could possibly get regulatory clarity. Regardless of the decision, the case demonstrates the importance of regulatory clarity in the Bitcoin field. And I would say not so much Bitcoin, but everything else. Many blockchain companies have been frustrated because they don't know what the hell they can do and what they can't do, right? So these are some of the possible outcomes. So is the end in sight? It could be. We could get something from now until April 24th. It could happen. But I just don't see it happening. I think April 24th is the date we have to watch, or April 23rd, rather, 2024. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll be keeping tabs on it, though. Let me know what you guys think. Is the end in sight? How do you think this is going to play out? Appreciate you guys as always. Don't forget to smash that like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know that we are here in the house. All right. Peace out.